All right, thank you very much, Madam Clerk. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the special council meeting. This is a planning public meeting here for Wednesday, June the 25th, 2025. It is now a little after 5:30 p.m., so we're going to get started with our meeting. And so our councilors are all here and our staff are here, and we have a guest online joining us tonight. Council will start with the approval of the agenda. Recommendation be it resolved, Council of Township of Clearview hereby approve the agenda dated June 25, 2025 as presented. Deneen and Walker, thank you very much. Is there any questions on the agenda? Seeing none, all those in favor? Good. Declaration of pecuniary interest and general nature thereof. Anybody has a declaration? Please bring it forward. Thank you. That's right. Oh, I thank you. So council, this is a public meeting session. We have our public meeting agenda. And as always, during our public meetings, we pass the chair over to our deputy mayor, who is going to now chair this portion of the meeting.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Worship. We will now initiate the public meeting portion of tonight's agenda. We invite you to comment on the application being presented tonight and to engage the process with us. If you wish to be notified of the decision of the Corporation of the Township of Clearview on an application being discussed this evening, please complete a public delegation form. Please submit the form to the Deputy Clerk. The views expressed in the public comments are solely those of the individuals providing them and do not reflect the opinions of the Township, its agents, or its employees. It is not possible for the Township to verify the accuracy of all information provided by members of the public. The Township therefore assumes no responsibility for any inaccurate information that may be contained within the public comments. If you have information that might correct, clarify, or refute any statements contained within the public comments, please forward it to the Township Planning Department. Please be advised that your comments or requests to be notified will form part of the public record. Your communication and any personal information therein will be made available to the public unused unless you expressly request its removal. If a person or public body would otherwise have an ability to appeal the decision of the Township of Clearview to the Ontario Land Tribunal, but the person or public body does not make oral submission at a public meeting or make written submissions before the proposed official plan or zoning bylaw amendment is adopted or passed, the person or public body is not entitled to appeal the decision. If a person or public body does not make oral submission at a public meeting or make written submissions to the Township of Clearview before the proposed official plan or zoning bylaw amendment is adopted or passed, the person or public body may not be added as a party to the hearing of an appeal before the Ontario Land Tribunal, unless, in the opinion of the tribunal, there are reasonable grounds to add the person or public body as a party. The following public meeting will involve a brief presentation by our planning staff, an opportunity for the applicant or their agent to present their application, a period for public comments or questions, and an opportunity for questions by planning committee. With that, we will now begin our public meeting with respect to item 3.1, signed bylaw amendment application SBA 2025-043, McDonald's 100 Grand Trunk Road of this evening's agenda. The planning staff will now start with a brief presentation concerning this application. Colin, come forward.
Thank you very much. Good evening, councillors and mayor. My name is Colin Ensfunk, and this is I am the planner on staff for this file. So this is a sign bylaw amendment to our sign bylaw for the McDonald's property. Any members of the public can reach me at the contact information on the second slide. And next slide, please, Krista.
Colin, do you mind if we just switch out the share screen, because hers isn't showing the actual maps and I think mine will. So do you want to stop sharing? You can continue, Colin.
Right. The subject lands are at the intersection of Highway 26 and Grand Trunk Road and are bounded to the north by Junction Road. This is the same site as the food land, along with a number of other commercial buildings. Next slide, please. Here we have a site plan that was submitted showing all of the different signs. Several of these signs are not subject to the application, and so I have a simplified site plan on the next slide, which shows the signs that are relevant to this application. You can see the pylon sign at the bottom right there. That has a digital sign as the third panel down. The three pairs of red signs are the traffic directional signs that guide traffic through the drive-through portion. The four black signs are the digital signs that are, along with the pylon sign, the main subject of this application. And then in small red numbers on the top and bottom, I suppose, the north and south of the building are some of the other signs that are relevant to this application. Next slide, please. So the purpose of this application is to request several amendments to the sign bylaw. These amendments permit digital signs for commercial use and projecting and directional signs for the drive-through, which are larger than otherwise permitted. And these amendments will allow the McDonald's business to install a digital display sign along the road, along with digital signs in the drive-through. Next slide, please. And then I have the specific provisions of our draft bylaw here in front of you. So we are altering the general provisions to allow digital signs for commercial use. And then in our commercial, industrial, and institutional sign provisions, we are allowing a total of 3 projecting signs per storefront, compared to what is currently permitted as 1. We have that no part of a projecting sign shall be lower than 1.5 meters above the ground and no higher than the ceiling of the first floor of the building, or 3.4 meters from the finished grade. The 1.5 meter provision is the one that has changed. The other number and provisions are the same. We state that the maximum height of a directional sign shall be 1.5 meters, as opposed to currently, I believe it's 1.4. The maximum display surface of a directional sign shall be 0.70 square meters. Offhand, I'm forgetting which the original is, but that is somewhat larger. And that one wall sign that identifies the hours of operation shall not exceed 0.9 square meters, and that is permitted a minimum of 1.7 meters above the finished sidewalk. Next slide, please. The effect of this application is to keep a uniform design with other McDonald's locations, to direct drive-through traffic, and to facilitate the overall operations of the business with the digital display boards. And the digital display boards are used both for drive-through ordering and for advertising along the highway. Next slide, please. I have isolated each of the signs for to make it easier to see them. So for our first provision, the digital signs include both on the left there, the ordering signs that display the menu and the various options that a customer can choose. On the right, there's the large M logo and the McCafe logo, and both of those are illuminated. They are not digital. The digital portion is that third panel from the top. Next slide, please. The projecting signs are include 3 signs along the south face of the building, 1 at each drive-through window. And again, we have a change in the number of these that is permitted, along with the height above the finished grade, making that slightly lower. Next slide, please. For the directional signs, we are increasing the height slightly, along with increasing the display surface. And then we also have a wall sign, this open 24 hours sign, which is illuminated on the north face of the building, that is larger than otherwise we would permit an open sign to be. Next slide, please. And the open 24 hours was not in the notice. We noticed it as I was putting together my report. And so, it fell within the bounds of what we were discussing today. And we thought it would be best to explicitly put into the bylaw the provisions for this sign. And so you can see on the left side there, the location where this is, it's next to the doorway, the main entrance to the building, and faces away from the street. It faces towards the food land on the property. Next slide, please. We received these items as part of the submission, including the application form, the permit drawings that were originally submitted to the building department for a building permit, and authorization of agent. And all of these materials can be found online on our website. Next slide, please. Surrounding the property, there's residential along with some land that is zoned residential but is vacant currently. And to the west of the site is the Stainer Care Facility, so it is institutional. South, there's also the institutional lands owned by the township. And currently on the site are the 2 existing commercial buildings and 1 commercial building for the LCBO that is currently under construction. Next slide, please. Our planning policy applies somewhat. The zoning bylaw is separate from the sign bylaw, which is what we're amending today. But the site is designated commercial in our official plan and zoned commercial exception in our zoning bylaw. Next slide, please. We circulated this notice in accordance with the provisions of the Planning Act. Our sign bylaw states that sign bylaw amendments and sign variances should follow the notice and decision-making process roughly in accordance with the way that we process zoning bylaw amendments and minor variances, respectively. So this is following the process of a zoning bylaw. And so we circulated in accordance with the Planning Act for zoning bylaw applications. And so we posted this on the subject site, on the website, and we sent physical mailouts to property owners within 120 meters. And details of the application have been made available to the public and circulated to relevant commenting agencies. Next slide, please. We didn't receive any public comments before the meeting, and so none were included in the agenda package. Any comments received after the publishing of this agenda and after the meeting today will be published as part of the recommendation report that I will take to you coming up. Next slide, please. And here we have a brief overview of the review process. We received this application on May 30th and deemed it complete that day. We gave notice on June 5th. Today is our public meeting. And following today, I will put together a recommendation report and present it to council. And following that, our sign bylaw does not specifically state that there is an appeal period. It is outside of the Planning Act requirements, and so there isn't an appeal period as you might be used to. So we will, following the, should you pass this site-specific bylaw, then we will issue a notice of passing thereafter. Thank you. I am available for any questions.
Thanks, Colin. I think we'll be asking some questions after we've had any questions from the public first. Bob, did you have any questions? No? Okay. So I'll bring you back up and we can ask questions from we always do it at the end or from our committee sort of thing. So don't go too far. Will we just, before you go, will we be having any comments from the agents or? He's online. There he is. There's no questions or formal presentations or speaking, sir, in regards to this?
Yeah, so my name is Jordan DeRoche. I just want to thank Colin. I think Colin did an excellent job there explaining the whole thing. So I just wanted to reiterate really that McDonald's is trying to keep consistency. A lot of planning and preparation have gone into the design of drive-throughs. So it's very consistent with other restaurants, new restaurants, and we're changing out a lot of existing restaurants. It's really a modernization. The intent is to keep the flow moving as quick as possible, less idling traffic, better operations for the overall business and success of the restaurant. And they think it's very important, and they try to mitigate the amount of light pollution. All of these electronic message boards are dimmable and have full electronic capabilities. And they're good corporate neighbors. If there's ever any complaints, they're always willing to handle them and respectfully. So I just wanted to let everybody know that a lot of planning and background work has gone into these designs, and they're not just a site-specific thing. It's a very strong corporate policy. Thank you.
Thank you. Colin, stay right there. I'll just read our script for the public portion now. Does anybody in the audience wish to make a comment, ask a question, or address committee with respect to this application? Questions may be directed or responded to by the applicant, their agent, or staff, but should be addressed through the chair. Please remember to complete and submit your delegation form. I asked this once. I asked this twice. I asked this 3 times. Our formality is done. Okay, committee members, is there anybody who wishes to ask Colin some questions? No, I have, your worship, did you want to ask any, or I'll ask a couple if you're.
You go right ahead, sir.
Okay, Colin, just my question. I'm surprised we hadn't seen any comments from the road jurisdiction being the province and possibly the county in regard to County Road 7. Any concerns come back from them? I didn't see any in your report, so we're good with that, or do they still have the opportunity to comment?
We did circulate both the county and the Ministry of Transportation and received no comment from either. The comment deadline was set for them, and yeah, we didn't receive anything.
Okay. It's just when we did our sign for the hub, I understand they were all over us, like, I won't say like what, but anyways, so I'm surprised they didn't comment to that. The only other question I had is, I know when we did the official, the original site plans, there was another building going up. Any concern for signage that this will affect them at all?
Would you be referring to the building that was the LCBO?
No, there was a 4th building at one potentially at that time, but I don't see it on our applications now.
I will direct that to Rosalind if that's
Okay.
all right with you.
Thank you through the chair. So there's another phase on the site, which is to the west.
Correct.
And that second phase has not been applied for yet. There will need to be a site plan approval for that. I'm not sure if that's the other building.
That's what I'm referring to, because it was for future consideration.
Correct.
But if it's not going to affect this, I have no problems with it. So.
Yeah, it's actually sort of the furthest away from these signs, to be honest. So the second phase is actually on the west, and this is more to the east, closer to the intersection actually.
Good.
Of Grand Junction and Grand Trunk and Highway 26. So
good. Thank you. Your worship, did you wish to ask questions?
I'll just ask one simple one, and that is perhaps to the applicant, Mr. DeRoche. Mr. DeRoche, have you seen any changes come after you've already assembled some of these type of signs? I get the impression you've had sort of extensive work with this across the country. Have you seen any changes after the signs have already gone up, whether they have to be taken down and readjusted, or new ones go up as a result of new marketing plans by McDonald's? Certainly these type of organizations, they can change their marketing plans and change their styles of logos, et cetera. So have you experienced going through that changes? So my interest is in, once you build the base, is this base set up so that you can be flexible?
That's a good question. Yeah, to answer your question short, I guess there is flexibility in the movements of these and stuff like that. But we've found that this program works the best. It's been many years in the making trying to get digital boards acceptable across Canada, even in menu boards. They seem to be pretty much the normal now, but it took many, many years. And I know Sign Association was involved in that and stuff to see the relevance and to make sure that they weren't a safety hazard and stuff like that. So now that we're past that point and they have full capabilities, they've come a long way in the technology as well, in the ability to dim them and to do stuff like that. So we don't really have to move them around very often. If there's ever any issues that come up, usually it's manageable within the scope of what's designed, if that makes sense. But the bases are permanent bases, but they can be moved, and they can pour another base, and it's not a problem to move them and relocate them if there's concern. I think that was your question.
Yeah, thank you. It does help because certainly, the trends of change that happen in the business of restaurants and or these type of facilities, they will have some changes and they will do modifications. I'm just concerned that the placement that we've sort of identified on our site plan will be that placement. And if there's any intention to change it in the future, obviously an amendment to a site plan will probably have to be called upon, and we'll see how we can work that out. But I just think it's important because this is going to be a pillar that's going to be right on that intersection between 26 and
County Road 7.
not County Road 7.
Grand Trunk.
Grand Trunk. was going to call it Grand Ridge, but it's Grand Trunk Road. So the point is that those, that is going to be a pretty significant pillar right there. I'm just thinking of the future commercial development and or some of the other development may happen further on down that road, whether we have space to share some both in the properties and the easements as well as some of the McDonald lands that are right there. So as long as we have an understanding that these type of intersections, they do evolve over time. They're not always exactly the same for the next 50 years, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, that makes sense. And McDonald's is always willing to work, with new applications or new concerns. So I've seen them change things that I didn't think they would change before, just because I know that they want to get along with the town. They want to be a good corporate citizen. So I don't have any concerns in that respect. And,
No problem.
And also those projecting signs, there's a clearance concern. I know sometimes people have safety concerns with those, but they actually have hinges on them. I'm not sure if everybody caught that, but if a car hits them, they bend back and then they bend back. So there's no safety concerns in those. These things have been hit many times before through many different locations, and they've designed it accordingly. So I just thought
it sounds like a thing of experience. If they've been hit before, you get it.
Yeah,
Sounds
exactly.
If I may, just at this time, I just want to add one other thing. As the mayor of this beautiful community called Clearview Township, I would really hope that you're calling this McDonald's the Clearview McDonald's or the McDonald's in Clearview. I'm hoping that that's the titling that you're coming up with.
That's a good question. To me, they
if you'd
give
like
it
me
by
to
the
write a
address.
letter to somebody, I'd be happy to.
Sounds good. I'll pass that along.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, Worship. Anybody else wish to make any questions or comments? Everybody's good? Okay. Thanks, Colin. I think you're good now. This concludes the public meeting with respect to item 3.1 sign bylaw amendment application SBA 2025-043 McDonald's 100 Grand Trunk Road for this evening's agenda. We thank all who attended and provide comments for their interest in this matter. All input received with regard to this proposal will be fully considered by staff in their recommendation and by council in their decision with respect to this application. A report regarding this proposal will be prepared for council, who will make a decision concerning this matter at a future meeting. As there are no other public meetings on this agenda this evening, Your Worship, I will pass the chair back to you.
Well done, Deputy Mayor. Thank you very much. All right, council, on our agenda is item number 4, which is our bylaw to confirm the proceedings of our council meeting. Recommendation be it resolved, bylaw number 2545 being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the June 25th, 2025 council meeting be presented and read a first, second, and third time, finally passed on the 25th day of June, 2025. Mr. Broderick, Mr. MacArthur, thank you. Any questions on the bylaw? Seeing none, I'll call the motion. All in favor? And the bylaw carries. Last item is our motion to adjourn. And before we adjourn, I just want to point out the significance of the date of the 25th of June. It is exactly 6 months until Christmas Day. So think about that on Canada Day. Mr. Beelan, would you like to move the motion to adjourn? All right, and the Deputy Mayor seconded. Thank you. We'll be adjourning at 5:53 p.m. All those in favor? Thank you, and that carries unanimous. Have a good evening. Thank you.